The night that should have been the happiest of his life was the same night everything quietly began to fall apart. Sirens echo in the distance. A man stands alone in the dark, his suit stained, his hands shaking, his future already slipping away. He looks like someone who has everything, but in that moment, he has nothing left to protect. And just before the screen fades, his voice cuts through the silence with one truth. This all started the day he got married. Now go back to where it all looked perfect. The city is alive, glowing with lights, music, and money flowing through every corner. This is a world where power is not just about what you have, it's about what people believe you have. And right in the center of it stands James, Ghost St. Patrick. Calm, clean, and always in control. People see him as a businessman, a man who owns one of the hottest clubs in the city. But that's only half the story. Behind the lights and loud music, Ghost is building something much bigger, something dangerous. A life where one wrong move can destroy everything. Ghost moves through his world like he owns it. Every step is planned, every word is measured. When he walks into a room, people notice. Not because he demands attention, but because his presence carries weight. He's not loud, he's not reckless. That's what makes him different. While others chase quick money and fast respect, Ghost plays a long game. He wants something more than just power in the streets. He wants to step out of that life completely. He wants to be seen as legit, respected in a way that no one can question. But the truth is, you can't just walk away from a life like that. Not when so many people depend on you. Not when your name is already tied to things that can't be undone. Every deal he makes pulls him deeper. Every connection becomes a chain. And even though he smiles like a man who has control, there's always something behind his eyes. Something heavy. Like he knows this life will eventually come back to collect. And then there's Tasha. She's not just part of Ghost's life. She understands it. She knows the rules, the risks, and the rewards. She's been there from the beginning, watching, learning, standing beside him as he built everything from nothing. Tasha isn't blind to what Ghost does. In fact, she embraces it. To her, this life isn't a burden. It's power. It's security. It's the reason they are where they are today. Together, they look unstoppable. A perfect couple on the outside, strong, loyal, connected. But even in the strongest partnerships, there are things left unsaid. Ghost dreams of a future that looks different from the present. A future where he doesn't have to look over his shoulder. A future where his name is clean. But Tasha, she sees things differently. She believes in what they've built. She trusts the life they know, not the one Ghost is chasing. And that's where the tension begins. Not loud, not obvious, but real. It sits between them in quiet moments, in the way they look at each other, in the things they don't say out loud. Because deep down, they both know you can't build a clean future on a dirty past without consequences. As the days move closer to their wedding, everything starts to feel bigger. The pressure, the expectations, the risks. This isn't just a celebration of love, it's a statement. A message to everyone watching. Ghost and Tasha are not just together, they are a force. And in their world, that kind of message attracts attention. The closer the wedding gets, the more everything starts to feel like a performance. Not just for the guests, but for the entire world watching from a distance. Every detail is perfect on the surface. Expensive suits, shining jewelry, flowers placed with care, and a guest list filled with people who matter. But beneath all of that, something doesn't feel right. It's quiet, almost invisible, but it's there. The kind of feeling you get when you know something is coming, but you don't know when it will hit. Ghost is in the middle of it all, moving from one conversation to another, shaking hands, giving small smiles, keeping everything under control. To everyone else, he looks like a man stepping into the best moment of his life. But inside, his mind is somewhere else. He's thinking about numbers, deals, people who can't be trusted, and the pressure that never really goes away. Even on a day that's supposed to be about love, the life he built refuses to step back. Every face in the room means something. Some are friends, some are partners, and some are just pretending to be both. In this world, it's hard to tell the difference. Ghost knows that better than anyone. He watches carefully, reading people without making it obvious. A look that lasts too long, a smile that doesn't feel real, a conversation that stops the moment he gets close. These are the things that matter. These are the signs that something is shifting. Tasha, on the other hand, moves through the space with confidence. She belongs here. This moment, this lifestyle, this attention, it's everything she has believed in. She talks to guests, manages situations, and keeps everything flowing without breaking a sweat. To her, this isn't just a wedding. It's proof. Proof that everything they did, every risk they took, every line they crossed, was worth it. She sees power in every detail, in every person who showed up to witness their union. But even she starts to notice small things. Ghost is distracted. Not in an obvious way, but enough for someone like her to feel it. His energy is different. His focus isn't fully here. And Tasha doesn't like that. She understands this life better than most, which means she also understands what distraction can cost. In their world, losing focus for even a second can open the door to problems you can't fix. There are whispers moving through the crowd, quiet conversations that don't reach the surface, but carry weight. Names being mentioned, questions being asked. Some people are wondering if Ghost is planning something bigger. Others are questioning his loyalty to the life they all share. When a man like Ghost starts talking about going legit, it doesn't just affect him, it shakes the entire system around him. And that's where the real pressure builds. Because this wedding is not just about two people coming together, it's about control, it's about trust, it's about making sure everyone stays in line. For some, this event is a celebration. For others, it's a chance to watch closely, to look for weakness, to figure out what Ghost's next move might be. At one point, Ghost steps away from the crowd just for a moment. He needs space, even if it's only for a few seconds. The noise fades, the music becomes distant, and for the first time all day, he's alone with his thoughts. He looks at his reflection, straightens his suit, and takes a breath that feels heavier than it should. This is supposed to be the start of something new, a clean beginning. But deep down, he knows it's not that simple. Because the truth is, the life he's trying to leave behind isn't done with him. It's still there, watching, waiting, and slowly closing in. And no matter how perfect this day looks, no matter how strong everything seems, there are cracks forming under the surface. As the ceremony draws closer, the energy in the air begins to shift in a way that no one openly talks about, but everyone can feel. The music is still playing, people are still smiling, glasses are still being raised, but something underneath all of it feels heavier now. The kind of weight that doesn't come from the moment, but from everything surrounding it. This is no longer just a celebration, it's a turning point, whether anyone is ready to admit it or not. Ghost stands at the center of it all, dressed perfectly, composed as always, but his mind refuses to stay in one place. He watches the room like he always does, but now there's something different in the way he looks at people. It's sharper, more careful, like he's trying to solve something without knowing the full picture. Every movement around him feels important. Every interaction feels like it could mean more than it shows. And the closer the ceremony gets, the harder it becomes to ignore that feeling. Tasha steps into the spotlight in her own way, commanding attention without even trying. When she walks, people notice. When she speaks, people listen. She carries herself like someone who knows exactly where she belongs. And right now, that place is beside Ghost. She's proud of what they've built, proud of the life they live, and proud of the message this wedding sends. To her, this is not just a personal moment. It's a statement to everyone who ever doubted them. But even in her confidence, there's a quiet awareness building. She sees the way Ghost pauses a little longer than usual. She notices how his eyes move across the room instead of staying present in the moment. It's small, but it's enough. Tasha has always been able to read him better than anyone else, and right now, what she sees doesn't fully match the moment they're in. It creates a tension that stays unspoken, sitting just beneath the surface of everything they do. As guests begin to take their places, the room slowly transforms from a space of movement into a space of focus. Conversations quiet down, attention shifts forward, and all eyes begin to settle on what's about to happen. This is the moment everyone has been waiting for. The moment that turns everything into something official, something real, something permanent. Ghost takes his position, standing tall, steady, looking like a man who has everything under control. And maybe, for a second, he almost believes it himself. But then his thoughts start to drift again. Not to the wedding, not to the vows, but to everything beyond this moment. The deals that still need to be handled, the people who might not stay loyal, the risks that don't disappear just because he wants them to. It all comes rushing back, reminding him that no matter what happens today, the life he lives will still be waiting for him tomorrow. When Tasha finally walks toward him, everything seems to slow down. The noise fades, the movement stops, and for a brief moment, it feels like the world narrows down to just the two of them. She looks confident, proud, and completely sure of the path they're on. And as she gets closer, there's a connection between them that feels real, strong enough to silence all the doubts, at least on the surface. They stand face to face, ready to say the words that will tie their lives together in a way that can't be undone. The vows begin, and everything sounds right. Every word is filled with meaning, with promises of loyalty, trust, and a future built side by side. To anyone watching, it's perfect. The kind of moment people believe in. But underneath those words, there's another layer that no one else can hear. A silent understanding of what this really means. This isn't just love, it's commitment to a life that comes with danger, pressure, and choices that won't always be easy. It's standing together even when things start to fall apart. It's choosing each other even when the world around them tries to pull them in different directions. And as the vows come to an end, something shifts again. Not in a way that stops the ceremony, not in a way that anyone can point out, but in a way that changes everything moving forward. A look from across the room, a moment that lasts just a second too long, a feeling that something has just begun, even though it feels like something should be ending. Because sometimes, the most important moments in life don't come with noise or chaos. Sometimes, they happen quietly right in front of you while everything still looks perfect. And this is one of those moments. The moment the ceremony ends, the room fills with applause, smiles, and celebration. But something about it feels different now. Louder on the outside, quieter underneath. People step forward to congratulate them, hands are shaken, hugs are exchanged, cameras capture perfect angles, but behind every smile, there's a layer that doesn't fully belong to the moment. It's like everyone is playing their role, making sure nothing breaks the image that has just been created. Ghost keeps his composure, thanking people, nodding, keeping his voice steady. He looks like a man who has just secured everything he ever wanted. A beautiful partner, respect from the people around him, and a future that seems locked in place. But the more the celebration grows, the more distant he feels from it. His mind is already moving ahead, trying to connect pieces that don't fully make sense yet. That feeling from earlier hasn't gone away. If anything, it's stronger now. Tasha stays close, standing beside him as they move through the crowd together. She holds her presence with confidence, making sure no one sees even the smallest crack in their image. To everyone watching, they are solid, untouchable, perfectly aligned. And in many ways, they are. But even as she smiles and speaks with calm control, her attention keeps returning to Ghost. There's a gap between them now. Not physical, but something deeper. Something harder to explain, but impossible to ignore. As the night continues, the celebration shifts into something more relaxed. Music gets louder, conversations loosen, people start to enjoy themselves without holding back. But in that freedom, things also become less controlled. Small groups form, private talks begin, and the real nature of the room slowly reveals itself. This is where the masks start to slip, even if only for a second. Ghost notices it first. A conversation that ends too quickly when he walks by. A glance exchanged between two people who shouldn't have a reason to be watching each other. A message passed without words. These are the details that matter, the ones that tell a story no one is saying out loud. And the more he observes, the clearer it becomes. This night is not just about celebration for everyone here. At one point, he steps away again, this time for longer. The noise fades behind him as he finds a quieter space, just enough distance to think clearly. He loosens his tie slightly, exhales, and lets the mask drop for a moment. This was supposed to be a beginning, a clean step forward, but instead, it feels like he's standing at the edge of something he can't fully see yet. Tasha eventually finds him. She doesn't rush, doesn't question him right away. She simply stands there for a second, reading him the way she always has. There's a silence between them that says more than words could. Then she speaks, calm but direct, asking what's really going on. Ghost gives a simple answer, something that sounds right but doesn't go deep enough. And she knows it. She always knows. This is where the difference between them becomes clear. Tasha believes in holding on to what they've built, protecting it, strengthening it, making sure no one takes it away. Ghost, on the other hand, is starting to look at everything like it's temporary, like it could all disappear if he doesn't make a change. And that difference, even if it's small right now, is enough to create distance. Before the moment can go any further, they're pulled back into the celebration, back into the lights, the people, the image they have to maintain. And just like that, whatever was building between them gets pushed aside, hidden again beneath smiles and movement. But something else is already in motion. Somewhere in that same room, a decision is being made. A line is being crossed quietly, without attention. A move that won't be noticed tonight, but will be felt soon enough. It doesn't come with a warning, doesn't make a sound, but it changes the direction of everything. As the night reaches its peak, the music louder than ever, the energy high, Ghost stands still for just a second, looking out at it all. The life he created, the people around him, the power he holds, it's all right in front of him. And yet, instead of feeling secure, it feels fragile. Because deep down, he knows the truth. Power doesn't stay still. It shifts, it tests, it demands more. And once you're part of it, you don't get to step away whenever you want. Somewhere in the distance, a car door shuts. An engine starts. A message begins its journey. And without anyone realizing it, the game has already moved to the next step. This wasn't just the start of a marriage. It was the start of everything that's about to fall apart.